All right, let's dive in. Today, we're not just talking about AI as some piece of tech. We're going to look at it as a personal journey, a path that takes you from being kind of curious to being truly powerful with these tools. So, let's map it out.
So let me just ask you straight up, are you really getting everything you can out of the AI tools you're using? It sounds like a simple question, right? But the answer, well, that's usually a little more complicated.
If you kind of feel like you've hit a wall with it all, trust me, you are not alone. It's super common. But here's the good news. There's a pretty well-worn path that pretty much everyone follows, and it can take you from just dipping your toes in the water to becoming a total AI pro.
And here it is. This is basically the map for that journey. It's broken down into 5 clear phases. Think of it like a life cycle, from a tiny tadpole to a fully fledged frog. As we walk through each phase, I want you to think, okay, where am I on this map right now? Okay, so let's start with the first 3 phases. This is all about building that solid foundation. We're talking skills, confidence, just getting comfortable. This is where everybody's journey kicks off. We've all been here, right? That very first time you typed something into ChatGPT and the response that came back just blew you away. Phase 1 is all about that initial spark, that feeling of, whoa, this is cool. So this first phase, let's call it initial exploration. You're just playing around, getting comfortable, testing out some basic stuff. It's all about building momentum. And honestly, it's so important to spend time here because this is the launch pad for everything that comes next. So how do you level up from here? Well, you've got to start looking at your actual day-to-day grind. Where are the annoying parts, the bottlenecks, what takes up way too much of your time? Then you ask the big question. Where could AI actually help me with this? That question, that's the key that unlocks the next phase. And when you ask that question, it leads to this awesome aha moment. This feeling of, wait a second, there's a whole universe of this stuff beyond just that one tool I've been using. And boom, you're in phase 2, tool exploration. This is where you start to move beyond the big general purpose tools, and you begin to build out your own personal AI stack. You're hunting for apps that are tailored to your job, your industry, your very specific needs. Now, to get past this phase, the secret is to go deeper, not wider. You've got to pick that handful of tools that are real game changers for you, and then you commit to mastering them. So, for example, instead of trying out 10 different AI note takers, just pick one and learn it inside and out, all the shortcuts, all the integrations. And that commitment, that's what pushes you into phase 3. It's a really powerful shift in your mindset. You're not just dabbling anymore. You are actively trying to get better. The big idea here is that you've shifted from just experimenting to truly optimizing. In this feature maximization phase, you've settled on your core set of tools, and now your whole focus is on squeezing every last drop of potential out of them. You feel confident, you're efficient, and you're seeing some serious results. All right, now we're getting into the advanced stuff. This is where AI stops being just a handy little assistant and starts becoming a true force multiplier, something that just completely changes the game for your productivity. And hey, listen up because this is a huge point. Most people, their journey ends around phase 2 or 3. They find a couple of tools they like, they get comfortable, and they just stop. But the real jaw-dropping leverage, where the value of AI literally doubles or triples, that all happens in these next 2 phases. This quote just nails the feeling of phase 4. It's that incredible moment when you realize AI is doing the work for you, sometimes without you even lifting a finger. This is the great leap into phase 4, automation. You're using tools like Zapier or Make to string your apps together, creating these AI-powered workflows that just run on their own. See, you're not just using AI anymore. You're building with it. You're building systems. So once you've got these automations humming along, you are so close to the top. The final evolution is to give these workflows the ability to think for themselves, turning them from things that just follow instructions into proactive agents that can actually make decisions and take action. And that brings us all the way to the summit, phase 5. This is where you reach a level of automation and power that, well, it just feels really, really good. At this full integration stage, you are literally designing AI agents that can handle complex, multi-step tasks all by themselves. And look, this phase is massive. There are levels within levels here.
but just reaching this point means you have truly mastered AI leverage.
So there you have it, the path to mastery in 5 steps. You start with that initial exploration. You find the right tools for your specific needs, you master those tools, then you build automations, and finally, you achieve full integration with proactive AI agents.
Which brings us right back to our map. So take another look. Now that you've heard about all 5 phases, from that first little spark of curiosity all the way to building your own autonomous agents, where do you see yourself on this journey? Be honest. Just knowing where you are is half the battle. The path forward is laid out right in front of you. So the only real question left is, what's your next move? What's the one thing you're going to do to get to that next phase?